All right, what is today? Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2015, and we just have a random hangout evening now in United States Central Time, 8:50, almost 9 p.m. Hi, everybody. Hi, Adriana. Hey,
Hi.
Guru Dan. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Sean. Hey, Tyler.
Hi.
And now
Hello,
everybody is
hello.
silent. Please talk. Please talk.
We're all just happy to see you, Max.
Thank you. I'm happy to
Yeah,
hear you. And
Yeah.
Sean
well,
is
first,
shining. Sean is great. I want that transformation as well. That's my favorite color scheme.
Yeah, it's an app.
I will click on Sean. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
hey, so I just got done watching the webinar from Saturday, and that was pretty awesome about like Tesla. That was
Yeah.
some next level stuff.
It's wonderful.
I
Yeah,
know there's people in the world working on like Tesla's coils
Yeah,
somewhere
but
in Europe.
you know what's interesting? He was talking about teleportation from the point of view of a machine.
huh?
And I'm looking
Well,
at
yeah, 'cause
teleportation from the point of view of a human body being able to do that.
he's talking about like, cause okay, like the 3D reality can be manipulated differently than like the higher level. Like when I see the Akashic records, it's like energy, you know? But
Yeah.
like the 3D reality is the result of the Akashic records. The Akashic records are like film that consciousness comes down through and it manifests in 3D reality. So like, but he's talking about manipulating 3D reality. Like
Yeah.
that's like that's like fourth dimensional technology. Like fourth dimension is still physical.
Yes.
Yes, it is. But, when I was asking him about vibration, because each human is vibration and we can connect to it, that's when I do my Hathors. I know I'm connecting to a certain vibration, a sound, a tone that heals or that, either emotionally, physically, whether it's water, trees, air, whatever it is. Okay, I know there's a
Yeah.
vibration, and even with the human body, there's a vibration. That's why there's an effect. Um, so I'm wondering, how is it possible to? Well, I was asking about the teleportation in a human aspect while using toning.
It seems like theoretically you could teleport without any sort of devices at all,
That's
but
what I was thinking.
yeah, I know. I know you're thinking that. That's a higher dimensional thought though. That concept is higher dimensional than what he's talking about. Like, do you understand
Yes.
how high we are really? Those thoughts are like that's like quartz, you know,
Like I
like I
think I could go from Miami to like freaking Egypt in my mind.
gotta see that sort of experience. I think like that's a quasi-physical experience. Like that's like a Bashar entity type experience. Like Bashar's up there. Like that's what I'm saying. In order to ascend properly, we can't just go with our minds. That's why Takar always says ground out, because we need to ground in quantum theory, in fractal geometry, in because that is, everything can be mathematics is just the Akashic records explained mathematically. It's just a 3D explanation.
But you know
That's
what
what
he
fractal
said?
geometry is.
You know what he said though? The crystals. He
Yeah,
says the crystals are 5 times as powerful as anything he was
right.
thinking
And
about.
think about Bashar. Bashar uses crystals, doesn't he talk about his
Exactly.
But what I'm saying
Exactly.
is we can't he was even saying, he's like, you can't handle the crystal information. You can't even fathom that in your
Well, in
3D
his
logical.
world, the people could not handle the crystal information. The crystal information is actually coming to us. If you notice, it's just we're feeling it out, it seems. I mean,
But
look at Justin.
like a
Justin
fractal,
creates grids like crazy. It's like,
what was that?
I say, look at Justin. He creates grids like crazy. It's just
That's
telling him
true.
what to do. And I'm coming up with different ideas and whatnot with my crystals and what to do with them, you know. And it's
But
five
see,
times as powerful as anything Tesla ever thought to do at
you're
his
right.
time.
what Tesla's doing is he's taking these higher dimensional thoughts that he's quote unquote out getting from these higher dimensional energies, and he's grounding them into a 3D level, and he's like creating three-dimensional versions of a fourth-dimensional idea. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I'm just looking at this in such a crazy way for like, you know, like if what he's like, really, I'm not qualified to even, like, we need someone who's like studying electrical like engineering and who's studying Tesla to like take that information.
I'm just going by from what he said on Saturday.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because I don't have any background scientific, like, I don't have that sort of experience. I really don't. I'm going from just a feeling of what's coming to me.
That's what I'm saying, Sarah. Y'all, like, no one here realizes how high they really are. I feel that if you realize how high you are, you would ground out, because y'all are fucking high. Like, vibration, what you're talking about is not three-dimensional. You know what I mean? You're talking about perceiving energies and shit. Like,
well, that's what's happening in my reality.
I know. I understand that, but like...
Sarah, what would happen if you focused one of your tones through a crystal tower?
I haven't tried that yet. I have no idea. But I know something freaking awesome.
What if you began focusing a tone through, visualizing through a crystal, and then see what the crystal would do to it?
Began doing that with my crystal. I started singing, that is, to my crystal with the tonings, at least for the last 2 days. And I'm feeling it out, and they're very happy. So, it's something I'm going to continue to do to see what happens.
So check this out. Okay, if the crystal is you, right? The crystal is just you in a one-dimensional state. It's like...
Wait, no. The crystal, you heard him? He said the crystals are like the heart of Gaia. So it's even more powerful than you believe a one-dimensional state to be.
Well, I'm not saying that's less powerful. Like, Mother Earth is balling, but it's like the way I see it is like God is like everything, and then there's like these filters, and it like the more filtered you are from God, like this is a more filtered version. This is like less of God than we are. We're like more. We have like creativity, cognition, like so. If this is us, and this is just a lower manifestation. This is manifestation right here. My consciousness is projecting this into a hologramic state in 3D reality. So how can you use this to look upwards? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like this holds me into a 3D
because
state.
Because all is one and one is all. You can use that to look upwards. You can use it to look downwards.
Guys, I don't even think that's a lower manifestation. I mean, it's maybe a lower density, but it's still God in itself.
And awareness too.
Yeah.
It's not a lower manifestation. It's just it doesn't have the same type of awareness as we do.
Correct. I understand.
Or it could have the same type of awareness. We're just not really aware of what they are or what they can hold.
No, we do not have the same perception. Like
we just don't have the same perception.
Like, you wouldn't explain like how the mailman delivers mail to this rock, because that would be, this rock only knows, like, it's just trying to see upwards. It's trying to see what we are. It's like, what are these aliens up here doing? Because I don't understand them. In the same way that we look up to the aliens, or like, we don't understand this, we're trying to understand it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
I understand it's also a personal experience. Like, the experience that you have when you awaken, it's very personal to you and your understanding of the reality that you're living in.
That's where it goes quantum. That's where I can't figure it out, because everyone's reality is different. So it's like, that's where my 3D mind just shuts down and like, can't comprehend that, you know? Can't process that thought. I don't have enough CPU. I need to like upgrade my CPU, my RAM.
Yeah, but you don't give yourself enough credit. You are upgrading every day.
You're right. But like at a certain level, physical reality, like if you could have an extrasensory like full-blown telepathy, I'm not sure where that thought was going, but that's incredible. You have to be on a super high level for that. Like what 𝗪𝗓 is doing, like 𝗪𝗓, if this is true, like 𝗪𝗓 is an incredibly, I mean, she can do some crazy stuff. She can look at all the different lives she's living in any given moment. She has to be able to do that in order to be channeling through Jim. Like I don't know, like these videos that she keeps talking about, I'm not sure if this is even a physical video. Like I think that is a concept that maybe perhaps is not being channeled correctly. Like maybe we can't even really comprehend what they're saying. Maybe what if they're projecting to our collective consciousness, so collectively we're like reading this energy sort of and not even seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think these would be physical videos. Because otherwise, how else would we
they're
be
dealing
able
with
to find
conscious
them?
technology though. They're seeing the Akashic records at all times. Even Cryon talks about the Akashic records. Like, but in order to do what they're doing, they're constantly connected to that.
Well, listen to this. And I just posted some videos of this guy named Andrew Bartzitz, who calls himself the Galactic Historian. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yep, you said it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he was talking about the Akashic records, and he, as a human being, is able to read them just verbatim.
You can see them. They're archives.
Well, you had your experience the other day with it.
I've had it I've seen it a few times. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's mathematical in a way, but it's like just archives of thought patterns. Like you can take every thought and just sort of swipe it off of, you know, the projector, and you can see your reality without that thought in it. Like it's crazy. It's hard to explain. It sounds crazy. Like the more I go into it, the crazier it sounds in a three-dimensional level because it doesn't translate properly.
Well, that's like when they talk about the libraries and things.
The libraries, right.
Planet Earth is the library for Earth. The Sun is the library for the solar system. There's other libraries, and that usually the beings that come to visit, they'll check the library. They'll stop at the library first and check it out. No, do I want to go out there or what? You know? So they have access to all the information that's ever been amassed from our little spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're giving me some crazy ideas. I feel that like the archives are like we're the result of it. Does that make sense? Like
yeah.
It's us on a higher level. Like it's us all connected. It's every thought, like in reality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain.
Max, what do you think of all of this?
You gave me like the topics, I guess, hundreds of topics, so I can keep confused. So I think Bashar was asked about, you know, can the animal or a stone be in our level of consciousness, and he said sometimes if they kind of take on our way of thinking, like if an animal becomes so much involved in our life and gets a relationship, so we bring it up, bring a dog up to our level, so the dog starts thinking on our level, then they come to our frequency, whatever you call it, 3.5. And same thing maybe with the stone. If you have a relationship with the stone, or if it is some kind of a stone where people come and it's a sacred stone, then it also gets their vibration and stores it and gets into our level of vibration. Just to to get some of a perspective. Of course, I don't know. So who is that? So you were talking about crazy stuff, right? Crazy meaning there is tons of information around the Akashic record, which has everything, and where do we fit here, right? I think it's like maybe a computer game or a card game or a Monopoly game where everything you can see from certain perspective, you see everything, but then you kind of limit yourself in many ways until you're a lonely, lost person, and you make choice, and then you also you have time. You play with time, so you don't know what will happen next. So you make choices, and you pick from these Akashic records. You pick, and to your consciousness, to your physical mind comes only that little of information here and there, and then it becomes our 3D life. That's my take, and I wish I knew more, but to me, random things happen, and I'm always puzzled what happens to me. It just doesn't make a lot of sense at the moment.
It's like and that makes sense, 100%. Like whenever I saw it, I wasn't able to like go anywhere in my Akashic record and look at anything. I couldn't tell you about like a past life. I didn't see it like that. I saw it like I was looking at it like an architect. Like I could see the blueprint of like where things were and how the mechanism. It's like a quantum computer of projection of consciousness. Like that's basically what I saw, like a computer that consciousness is projecting through and manifesting.
Now that you're mentioning that, have you guys seen the Interstellar movie?
Yeah.
All the way like at the end when he's like in that library of the moments. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what you're describing to me. I don't know, it came
That's
up in
funny.
my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the different alternate realities there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody up to channeling? Sean, you are silent. Do you want to speak? Anything that touched you most, or you like to speak something?
No, right now I'm just feeding off the collective energy.
Huh.
I'm enjoying it.
Max, what ideas do you have for like doing channeling webinars? Like, what ideas are you thinking about?
I'm
about
lost.
What answers
I'm
you
lost.
want to get?
I'm lost. I felt guided until recently, and now I feel that all roads are open. I'm stuck, so all roads are equal.
That's good.
I don't know where do I want to go, but
It's actually a good place to be.
yeah, I want to just to do something significant and interesting. I guess that. Yeah, I want to do something important and helpful to others. One of the thoughts was that we certainly need to publish a few books. Just whatever Jim channeled, it's already typed. A lot of things already typed. So transcribes. How about we just assemble those books and publish them for free, electronically for free? And Lulu.com has a service. You just upload it there, and then they sell the book, and whatever money comes, whatever pennies come for that, can go to Jim. So I guess that's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak to more channelers. I want to do one-on-one or one-on-two or two-on-one sessions where we'll just cross-examine different channelers and see what different channelers say about, say, similar things.
Yes, great.
And yes, and when you said yes, my little tiny thought was broken. So when we, all right, go ahead. I will come back to my thought. Go ahead. No.
Oh no, I was just saying like that's great. Like whenever I was watching this webinar on Saturday, I was thinking when Moses was there, I was like, man, we need like a professor of religions, like Reza Aslan, to like, hey, yeah, verify this. This all happened. Like, I mean, how can once it starts coming in like that? I mean, once you can channel anyone from history and get proof and actually have someone validate it, like Tesla, someone who studies Tesla's work, like, does Jim know about like quarks and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't think so. As I was able to kind of get a little glimpse onto what Jim knows about physics, and it's all what is in the popular culture, not more than that. He doesn't know physics beyond popular culture. So I was very surprised when I was very surprised when I know some unique things which are not in popular culture about Tesla and about Moses, and whatever they said was in line with what I knew. I was very happy with that channeling. Sarah wanted to say something.
I have a sneaking suspicion when I heard about the court situation
All right.
And the sneaking suspicion is that quartz, whatever he's describing there, because I have no idea what it is, never even heard of it, but whatever he was describing there has something to do with the teleportation situation without a machine, just using crystal and the human body and thought.
All right. Quarks are one type of matter particle. Most of the matters we see around is made from protons and neutrons, which are composed of quarks. So this is subatomic particles, sub-elementary. So elementary particles, you know, and this would be sub-elementary particles. And I don't know these quarks are well understood by physicists, but basically he says it is useless to look at atoms or neutrons, electrons, and protons, which we really know well. We have to look in the units which are just one level below. It's like one another. So we have to go one step below the known particles.
Is that quantum or no?
No, quantum is usually is proton, electron, photon. That will be quantum. So if you break the quantum in subquantum particles, that you get quarks. And so he was talking about subquantum particles. So quantum is something which we can measure very easily. You can even see it with naked eye, one quantum, sometimes. But amplified, obviously. But you can really, you know, it's easy with electronics like that. With an electronic mouse, you can see those things. But if you go with sub-elemental particle, then it would be next level down is quark. And he was talking that quark is somebody asked if quark is circular or it is quantum. That's what Robbie asked, and he said no, it's random. And when he said random, it comes up with the idea of zero-point energy. Remember that zero-point energy is when scientists take this chaos, the noise in the universe, and if you filter it properly, you tunnel it properly, you get free energy from that. And people say that there are already devices on Earth invented by humans which uses zero-point energy to produce free power. So yeah, it all kind of resonated. When we don't know what quarks are, we don't have experiments to grasp them, to use them. Then whatever he says, it's nice, but I miss that connection, how to use it. So you need more background in quantum physics to really. And experimental quantum physics to really use it.
Right, yeah.
As you were speaking, I was actually getting a vision of the cells in the human body.
Mm-hmm.
Think about blood cells in the entire body and seeing them vibrate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, something's coming in just now, like. I literally just saw my body as liquid and the cells vibrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the picture we see. Yeah, that's very true. DNA is the key. DNA is a crystal. DNA is very, very proper crystal, very well-structured crystal. So most of the transformation between the higher dimension and our dimension comes, in our bodies, comes through DNA.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Max.
I mean, that comes in many channelings.
I just saw something. Yeah, I hadn't seen before, like what you're saying. Cause man, it's insane how the whole thing works. It's like a fucking game. It's like the best video game ever made. What's up, Max?
I just wanted to ask Guru Dan if he wants to speak.
Well, I was just remembering. Hang on just a second. I was just remembering, this whole planet Earth game, the whole incarnational cycles, etc. As eternal beings. We just we don't just hang out in space and think about how cool we are. We needed a challenge, right? We can't just hang around and, wow, I'm a cool consciousness, and You know, it's like that Crocodile Dundee. You know, that he meets the gang. So, well, did your gang do anything cool? No. Oh, well, you guys should do something cool. So here, you know, we're these pieces of consciousness, right? And we needed a challenge. You know, so hey, let's go down to that planet and let's be, you know, 100,000 different beings and let's each being be a different piece of the thing and just run amok and run a course and see what they do, you know. And then the idea is to be this highly connected being and see how low we can descend and still reconnect with ourselves. And so, like, it's how we, you know, we challenge ourselves spiritually, you know, how far down can we go and still awaken? And it's just been like a really, really, really amazing thing, because I've been able to get down pretty far, and I'm amazed I'm even still breathing. And I know there's a lot of other people I see in some of these failed TV shows and stuff. You know, how did them people even live through that? You know, they live through an explosion or fall off a building or something. And it's just, you know, we came here to be challenged. And then it's interesting even the things that we find out about that. You know, well, how did that thing manifest? How did this thing? How does it all work? It's just all so interesting. And I don't have the answers, but I still find it very interesting. And I can see why I did it. I know why I incarnated, because it was just exciting. It was just, you can't just sit up in space and brag on yourself. Oh, I'm a great big consciousness over here. You know, who's gonna believe you? You know, you got to go do something. And so we come down here, and then we're waking up. So wow, this is exciting. You know, and now we're gathering even more information, and we're able to wake up or hang out with other people who are waking up. You know, wow, where did you wake up from? Oh, I woke up out of wealth, or I woke up out of illness, or I woke up out of hard work, or I woke up out of working the land, or I woke up out of farming or something, or I woke up out of seamanship, or I woke up through war. You know, and Krishna was famous for awakening through portions of war. And there's other, you know, all the different. There's no limit to what you can awaken out of. It's just it's all so interesting. So sometimes I don't worry about each and every individual aspect of it. Sometimes I don't need to figure it all out, because it's still just so exciting knowing that, oh, well, I awoken from here. I wonder how many other different aspects are awakening. How many other lower aspects have descended of myself, you know, that are awakening, because they say that, you know, we're all connected through our collective soul families and things like that. So there must be a bunch of us waking up in all kinds of different alternate timelines and stuff. Otherwise, I think, you know, and I must be connected to that some way. So, like, the soul is ascending. You know, I can see it. I don't always understand it, but it's still very exciting.
Thank you. Well, if you if you had a choice to come back to this reality, would you choose it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 1,000,000 times over, because that's just this reality in this frequency range right now. What about this reality in a slightly different frequency range, where maybe I'm a basketball, or maybe I want to be a telephone pole for a while, or maybe be another, you know, it's like Bashar says, you know, we've been every member of the family. We've been the brother, the sister, the mom, the dad. We've been every role. And yeah, we may have been all of those roles, and say, oh, we've been every insect, and we've been every animal, and we've been every, you know, star in the sky that we see, and we may have been all of that, but it's a frequency range in time. We're still in time. You know, I have dreams where I've dreamt that, you know, yeah, okay, I've come to this awakening, the 2012 shift and awakening, and there's an awakening where I wake up from the corporations that were running things. They kind of let loose of things. They get tired of running things. You know, there's an incarnation where watching the people take over and the government kind of give up and go, okay, you guys just kind of have at it. You know, the incarnation of what's it like to not use money because you don't need it. Everybody just likes everybody, and everybody just kind of walks around and does whatever they want. So there's all kinds of cool incarnations that I'd like to.
So you want to explore parallel timelines?
There's parallel timelines. There's everything. Well, there has to be parallel timelines because everything is right now, right?
Yeah.
So there's a right now, there's a me, there's a portion of this consciousness that's in another timeline, in another frequency range. Okay, very near this dimension, or pieces of this dimension, or other aspects of this dimension, having other experiences. Okay, so we're in an alternate reality, in a parallel timeline, parallel reality, somewhat parallel, not parallel, completely different, but all happening right now. But you see them all. Yeah, would I come back again? Oh yeah, this is the best ride. This is the
You know,
best.
one thing to add to it, it's at the end, it's really just experience, and just the human experience in itself. We're able to experience duality. Like, I don't even know, from all the research I've done in channeling and hearing from all kinds of people, you know, any other species that can really embrace that duality in ourselves, and we're able to live with that. That's, you know, I feel like there's so many species around the earth watching this happening, because it's just going to unfold as a new set of, you know, events in this intergalactic.
Because it's a very unique thing to us. Yeah, because you don't know if a dog has deja vu. You don't know if your cat has deja vu. You don't know if your pet rat has deja vu. Yeah, you don't know what other connections are going on. I'm sure there's connections that are available, but I'm not privy to them, or not yet anyway. But yeah, but you wonder. Yeah, but as far as having that capability, yeah, we're pretty interesting beings now, aren't we? I can see why a lot of, you know, experiments are being run, and why they want to come watch.
And that's what I've heard. Like, planet Earth is like your master's degree in everything. You know, well, it's like their hardest call to be.
That's why Wendy Kennedy says, yeah, it's a reality show of the universe, because everybody's here. Everything is represented here. The spiders are here, the cats are here,
the most dense place in the universe.
The water is here, the rocks are here, all these different experiences, you know. And then there's the history of the things that used to be here, the dinosaurs, the this, the that, the kings, the queens, you know, all kinds of cool stuff going on here. I mean, really, it's like a death by chocolate milkshake of the universe over here. Every piece of chocolate's here. It's all different.
Very funny.
So everybody's coming. You know, are you from Bavaria? No, we're from somewhere else. Oh, well, you're still chocolate. Well, of course we are. You know, let's invent the chocolate crystal, right, and just call it good.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's a nice question to ask, if it is permitted to choose an incarnation in a different timeline. I never heard about incarnations in a different timeline somehow. I think it should be possible, but, you know, people always say it was in the past, and it seems like it was in our past, in real sort of this timeline past.
From what I've heard from Bashar, it seems like you can choose, I mean, whichever timeline or like planet or incarnation you wanted. Like, you can choose to do it over again if you wanted it to. That's from what I've you know, heard.
From all the different channelers, they all say the same thing.
What?
That there are different timelines, and you can choose which timeline you want to be in, especially in this time period where we're waking up and we're shifting constantly, as Roxy via Osipia says, we're shifting 1 billion times a minute, seriously. And so all of those billion times, all of those billion possibilities, all of those have a reality. And so you're just choosing which one you want to live constantly.
Yeah, so, I have a thing on that. I call it my on-ramp scenario. So
your what?
My on-ramp scenario. You know what an on-ramp is? You're going down you're getting onto the highway, and you're on the on-ramp, and you're picking up speed, right? And you're getting ready to enter onto the highway, and you get going down the on-ramp, and you're trying to get, you know, whatever, 70, 80 miles an hour, so that you can merge into traffic. And say you're on the on-ramp, and you don't know it, but you're about to merge into like a semi or something. And you don't know, you clench your eyes, and you go into like this weird thing with your body, and then you don't hear a crunch, and you don't hear a bang, and you don't hear a thud, and then you look, and you finally kind of open your eyes after your days for saying, oh, I didn't have an accident, you know, and then you look around and say, wow, I don't even see the truck. Well, there's another alternate reality where you did have that accident, and you're crunched up, and you're all still back there. That experience is still back there. That experience is there. There's an incarnation of you that didn't make it onto the highway. Your road pizza back there from the truck you just cut off.
Well, that's kind of graphic, but I get your point.
But but somehow there are times when we can even crunch time and we can do things and we can jump
Yes.
into another reality because that reality is in a frequency very near the one we're already in, and we cannot have an accident. Or
Actually,
we
we're
can
doing
have, or
that
we can,
now.
and we do it in all these different variables, billions of times a minute, billions of times a second, billions of times. So, and then Osipius does the thing about jumping from one timeline to another, or
Mhm.
merging. We'll have. I've actually experienced this when I moved from Missouri to Texas, because my Missouri life, I didn't feel like I was really getting anywhere with it. But I had a dream where my Texas life was successful, and so I wanted to go into my Texas life. And then, so when Texas became an availability, I went for it. And then the way Osipius put it was that I merged into my Texas life. So I have memory. I have the memory of all the stuff that's happening here, but I also have the memory of all the Missouri stuff, even though now I'm over here. I'm no longer over there. I'm in a completely different physical location,
Mhm.
but I'm still aspects of the same consciousness.
Yeah.
So we can merge into our like soul family members or pieces of ourselves if we choose to kind of merge in. But it's merging. It's not a taking over one or the other. It's not so much a step in as it is a merging. And I thought that was really interesting because I really kind of feel that that's what's going on with me. How did I get from point A to point B without merging into something? So the way
Well,
Osipius says that
to
I had a
me,
Texas life going on, and then I had
yeah,
that going on, and yeah, it was weird. It's
you
weird.
know what, for me has been the kind of like the total opposite, but it's just a personal experience. I actually have experienced that I am like jumping from one timeline to the other, and not really like, oh, I just did it. It's just that I look back to the choices that I made back then, and I don't really have memory of all that stuff. It's like I'm choosing constantly, and I'm really, I guess, jumping very fast, and I can't pick up on all the memories. They're like kind of gone from me. It's
They'll
interesting though.
Yeah, the one timeline will fade in favor of the other timeline that you're on. So kind of,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's weird how it's like when you go up to a restaurant and it's really, really good, and then somebody asks you a month later what you had, and it's like, oh, I can't remember what I had. I just remember that it was really good. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's
just like
interesting
that.
how it fades. It's weird how the even the memory matrix fades and changes and does stuff, and you stay in favor of one or another. It's really weird when we pick a lane and then change lanes. It's a bit
But
rough.
I can understand it now, because before I used to think, oh, I have such a bad memory, and now it's like, no, I'm just choosing to constantly jump from one timeline to the other, and I'm just creating more memories, and those are fading away, like you said.
Cheyenne?
welcome, Ayan.
Hi, Jan.
Hi.
Hello, Hyan.
He might be getting his microphone set up. But yes, lovely discussion.
I wanted to show you that's the best picture of DNA I found while listening. So that's most how would I say, correct image of crystalline image of DNA, how it looks. And if you see this double helix, this red and orange balls, they show the double helix. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Two snakes
Yeah.
made of orange balls. And then in the middle there are blue and gray balls, and these are so-called bases. And these bases form a very nice, very perfect crystalline structure, where they kind of these layers are one on top of another, and that is what it looks like. It is a crystal where light can go, and it can go back and forth, kind of forming a laser. And if you pump in energy, you would have a laser there, and then this laser could accumulate energy and resonate. Different pieces of DNA could resonate with each other within the body, forming kind of a chorus of lasers. And that looks like it has a capacity to go transdimensionally. So that's, I think, is how we are connected to our astral bodies, etheric bodies, and that's how we do, how our physical bodies is. That's the mechanism how a physical body is connected to our spiritual parts.
It's like a vibrational threshold. I see what you're saying. It's like at a certain point, the vibrations become so low that they've materialized. It's like perception. It's just a perception thing. Like, you're right. I like totally agree with you.
It's like a radio. It's like a cell.
I have a question. Is there a reason why they chose those colors to depict the DNA?
You know, it's the reason is quite obscure. I think it comes from chemistry. You know, in chemistry, chemists used to color different elements with different colors. I think it comes from chemistry. I think not more than that. Not more than that.
Because I had a strange thought just now that was created to the different for the different chakras.
Oh. I don't know. Just don't know.
Yeah, there's something I want to share. Now that you put that picture in, one of the healing techniques I was given in one of my meditations is basically I will take all my emotions and pretty much, you know, any kind of emotion that you really want to heal yourself with, and I would imagine like leaving my body as an energy, and it will become one of those gray balls that you're just showing there, and that will just disappear on the air. It was just very interesting because when you're pulling the picture and I see those little gray balls, and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I picture when I was doing that meditation a while ago. And that's exactly how I actually, it's a quick healing technique that I've developed for myself, but just wanted to share it with you guys.
I think white balls are hydrogen. I'm pretty sure orange balls are phosphorus. I'm pretty sure the red balls would be oxygens. And possibly blue balls would be nitrogens. And gray most likely are carbon. But
yeah.
But you know,
so there are five.
Forgive me if I'm mistaken a little bit somewhere. Like, but most likely I'm correct. So
Well,
these
one
are
of the
traditional
things
colors
that-
for these elements. Yes, go ahead.
Right, because you mentioned about the carbon, and one of the things that they told me is that since we're moving into our, like, get rid of all that component in our body and like work with your life body. So it's like working through those emotions and like that element. Yeah.
Bashar mentioned once that we are working towards replacing some of the carbon with silicon, and
Yes.
that raises the vibration.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up.
I don't know. So far, I don't see much silicon in our chemistry. I think we are pretty much carbon-based, but even a little bit might change the vibration. Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I had a message. I think it was very personal. Someone came to me with a personal message, some physical friend, and they gave me a message that the sickness comes from disorder in DNA, where DNA loses this perfection. So aging and sickness come when that nice kind of crystal structure of DNA becomes distorted, and healing is restoring this crystalline, correct, perfect structure.
I feel the need to at least say that age and disease, meaning dis-ease, comes from belief and thought.
Belief or relief?
Belief
Uh-huh.
and thought.
The entire mechanism of like everyone here is belief. Like the belief system is the mechanism of how this even exists.
Yes.
Like when you change
So
your belief
you can-
system, your belief system is mechanically connected to the upper levels. That's the joke. They give the human the controller, which is the belief system, and it control. They don't show you what you're controlling. You're controlling this huge thing called your Akashic records or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say that it's like mechanically, it's like literally connected energetically.
Yes. And so you can cause yourself to age and cause yourself to have a dis-ease or a disorder because of a thought pattern or process. And because of that, it can be changed with another thought. This is why you have instances where someone has this disease or this illness, and the doctor says, oh, you cannot live, and then all of a sudden, then the next day, whatever it was has gone away. You know, it can change with the thought and belief process.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, Adriana, you were saying how you like, okay, you focus and then you're actually, see what you're doing is when you change your belief system, when you're saying like, I'm healing myself, you're shifting this belief system and your consciousness is projecting that reality. So when you're talking about like jumping realities, what's happening is the projection is just changing. Like, that's incredible how this whole thing works, really. Mm-hmm. Like the mechanism of reality. That's something I haven't even thought of, like healing yourself, like.
Yeah.
So, okay, Max, so can you manipulate frequency manually? Like, what frequency? I know they smash these particles together to get this stuff, right? Or no, this is DNA. So
yeah,
could you
DNA.
Mechanically alter the frequency in order to sort of, like, I know the government can do that. They could. I've heard of like, right, but like with a tool, with a machine, a three-dimensional machine.
No, without a machine. My voice, I do that.
But I'm saying, like, the government has, like, astral bases, so I've heard. So if they have astral bases and they have humans on it, that means that they've got to have humans that are able to astral project all the time, or something like that, you know? So they are using some sort of, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Higher dimensional thoughts are not inaccurate, but it's relevancy. Like, this three-dimensional world, you have to ground these thoughts, like, yes, we can teleport without using machinery, but that is a high-level thought. That is like a fifth-dimensional thought, or like that's like some Bashar shit. We're not at that level. We have to raise our frequencies. We have to ascend. We have to create, free energy. Tesla. Those are fractal antennas. Fractal antennas pull energy out of nothing. How do you explain that? That's a fourth-dimensional civilization.
Well, the technology is out right now in the 3D to do that.
True.
Really, it's been here on this planet since, no, it's not mainstream, but we've had it for over 50 years already.
True. All true.
And it's just a matter of somebody being able to step forward and say, hey, I'm going to make sure everyone gets to have this free energy, and going through the process of making it happen.
Well, see, in the same way that the human, each human projects their own matrix. Everyone's on their own grid, their own universe, completely, and we're all overlapped. So the collective humanity also is collectively projecting, like you can look at everything that's happening in the world, and you can see it as, you can interpret the higher level energies of the collective. That's how you can read shit. Like, look at your life, look at everything in your life, and you can see it as like what I call divination, like knowing what your energy is, knowing your point of attraction. So collectively, we're also manifesting a collective universe. There's like bubble realities. I think Bashar mentioned that even.
Oh, Bart just mentioned the bubble realities, and I just posted those 2 videos he had.
Interesting.
He mentioned the bubble reality. Yes.
What's this guy's name again? Spell it out for me. Bert?
Andrew Bartzis. ANDREWBARTZIS.
Okay. He's on YouTube?
That? Yeah, YouTube. But I just posted it on my page. Okay. So the correct video is from Buzzcut or something like that.
I'll go to your page. I'll go to your page.
Yeah, go to my page, and it's on there.
So another thing I was thinking of is like, okay, if we're going through billions of realities every second, then that means that, like, each of those times that a new reality is created, like, the 0-point energy of, like, infinite is going through creation. It's rippling all the way through us, the rocks, in both directions, just instantaneously, just bam, manifest everything in existence all at once in a billionth of a second. Like, that is a crazy thought. Now, see, that's just a thought, but like, is that a higher dimensional perception? Am I seeing it? I mean, I'm seeing it visually, like in my imagination. Is that what a, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell is this? So,
Okay.
it's perception.
Questions, right? So, second question about billion frames per second. That's Bashar's. I think what he says, it's, these are our frames. So reality is not continuous. It's made of frames, and because there is so high frequency, so our frequency on the video here is 30 or 25 frames per second, and Bashar says that our real frequency, how we are designed, our world is designed, programmed, is billions. But you see, this the change which happens in this billions frames per second is very, very orderly. There are physical laws which we all kind of sign up to play by these physical laws. So most of the things, which especially the ones which happen automatically, I think they happen quite. How do you say? You can calculate how the kinetics of the pen moves. So it's unless you do conscious change of that, it's kind of pretty programmed. And we all play in that physical reality. But of course there are parallel realities, and of course you have you sort of it's again it's a model. But how I see it, it's you playing a game in a computer, and when you play that game in a computer, it has its own rules. But
yeah, there's agreements. There's like vibrational agreements.
But of course, in these days, and with that kind of nature of transformation, we have a way to affect these rules and skip. I have been recently to Matrix Energetics. Have you heard about it? Matrix Energetics. By what's his name? Richard. I forgot the last name. Basically, he does magical stuff, transformation, and he says it's all nonsense, and he plays with energies by shifting realities all the time. He does it on stage, and he just does miracles on stage, like healing people and stuff. His one of the favorite toys is a 2-point meditation. He speaks nonsense, and he kind of picks at random one point in the space and senses for another point, and when he finds another point, he kind of focuses on them and grabs the reality by these 2 points and shifts them mentally into a different reality. So, and usually, because he's a doctor, his intention is to shift from reality where disease is here to mentally to where disease doesn't even exist. And he gave an example that it even works on inanimate matter like cars and stuff. So I use it pretty often. If I need to fix something and it is stuck, I just do this 2-point meditation and shift the reality where the thing is unstuck, and it works. You just instead of working hard, you just shift the reality to a different. I know it doesn't always work, but it's a nice tool to play, and sometimes it works. And another thing you asked.
Well, hold on. I want to jump on that real quick. Okay, do you notice that you're focusing your consciousness in a 3-dimensional way? You're saying, I want to manifest this to be easier, and then bam, you're going to manifest. See, when you don't ground yourself, everyone on this website that is up here in the clouds, they're manifesting higher level things, right? They're manifesting telepathy, all these visual things. But if you ground those energies, you can play. You can be anywhere you want. If you can figure out where you're at, you can manifest upper level stuff, but you're not going to be manifesting 3D. That's why 𝗪𝗓𝗓 told Noha to ground herself, because she's not manifesting, because she wasn't in the 3D. Like, wherever you're projecting, that's interesting how I'm seeing this.
Okay, I remember the name. Richard Bartlett, Barlett.
Awesome.
Matrix Energetics. And he has a whole following now. Chicago has its own Matrix Energetics fan club, pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
Another thing you mentioned was, is there a technology to change the frequency? Mental frequencies are, our brain is a machine which works with different frequencies like beta waves, theta waves, alpha waves, and so on. So these are changed by so-called entrainment, E-N, whatever, trainment. So, you vibrate with certain frequency, but if something pretty strong vibrates with a close frequency but different, you kind of match. It's called resonance. So when one vibration is kind of more clear and stronger, all other vibrations kind of tend to synchronize with it. So that's called an entrainment, when one vibration brings the other vibration together. And it works in music, and it works in all sorts of pulsing. On TV, they kind of entrain you in their frequency and thought pattern.
Yeah.
And in electronic devices, light pulsing, electromagnetic pulsing, it also allows entrainment. So healing therapy also works through entrainment. Tibetan crystal balls entrain you too, so they work on chakras. It's not only changes the frequency, it also kind of allows to synchronize and communicate. So if you're a healer, you synchronize with your patient, and then you can send energy when you're connected through the same frequency. You can send kind of information through that.
Okay.
And that is for
that's
technical,
like Reiki information.
Yeah, technical entrainment. But also there is water structure, right? So one of the healing ways is to change the structure of water and just drink the water, or do Reiki on water and then drink that water. Charge the water with prayers. Charge the food with prayers. You can put your hands on food and do the prayer before you eat, or when you cook, you do it in a meditative way, so the food becomes healing.
Holy shit!
Yes.
Oh yeah, getting some
And
good
the prayer before food, prayer over the wine and bread. I mean, that's also changing the structure and changing the frequencies. And on that great note, I have to leave you guys. I can continue if you like, but I have to go. My family needs me now.
Thanks, Max.
Nice to
Good
chat.
Thank you,
talk.
Max.
All right.
Yes, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Max.
Bye.
Oh, he
I don't know,
has
is
to
he gonna
take
keep
it
it
off
live?
live.
Yeah, I hope it'll probably end the thing. We can start a new Hangout
Oh, okay.
if you want, or we could stay on.
Do you want to go to the first hangout and let this
Yeah,
one
let's
drop?
go to the first one and let this one drop.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, bye, everybody.
What? What's happening?
Oh, we're going to the first Hangout and let this one drop so we can stop recording.
Okay. What's the first hangout?
It's on it was Max's first one that he posted,
Okay.
but he was in the wrong, I guess, login page or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, okay. What did I do wrong? Yeah.
Amy. Yeah, shit. Isum Yasha Tumananaha Ikolo Yasha Tama Iko Sum Yashata Tumanaha. Peace, love, light, harmony. Love y'all.
No, that's not.